Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ring the Bell Wrestling Apex. Finally, the return of one of the longest lasting brands in all of Ring the Bell Wrestling. I'm, of course, your host, Excalibur, and let's move on into the beginning of the show. It is prestigious tag team title rules as, believe it or not, the Prestige make their return to Ring the Bell Wrestling tonight to take on the creepy cult known as the Church of Light. And of course, for everybody here at Ring the Bell Wrestling, we do want to wish you guys a happy holiday season, and we do have some big news regarding a big end of the year event that will be dropping at the end of the show. So please feel free to remind me if I don't hold accountable to that, but either way, it is time for our opening contest here at Apex. Of course, Apex is the show, the name of the show, where a lot of these men and women got started. What used to be a weekly show, since we changed our model to the whenever we can model, now, you know, we're choosing to celebrate the history of Ring the Bell Wrestling with this show, Apex, and no bigger faction in the history of Ring the Bell Wrestling than the Church of Light. Of course, Shao, the Dragonborn, one of the newest members of the Church of Light. This man, Pee Wee Herman over here, has had his fair share of history with the group. Of course, the bastard John Woods not in action tonight, opting to stay at home, planning for tomorrow's service. I'm assuming they got a Sunday service. If they're a church after all, they should. Either way, of course, one of the longest entrances in Ring the Bell Wrestling history. All of the members of the Church of Light deciding to take 11,000 years to get down to the ring, but I digress. There he is, folks. Shao, or now goes by Dark Shao. Originally Shao the Dragonborn, if you remember him from last season. Oh, there's Finch getting up over the top rope there. He's a big boy, that's for sure. And now, there we go, finally. Let's bring out the next group here. No, man, we haven't heard this in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, making their return to Ring the Bell Wrestling, they are the Prestige. Of course, Philip Sheffield, Mike Bailey, two members of the most decorated, longest reigning tag team champions in all of Ring the Bell Wrestling history, and arguably in all of professional wrestling. I can't find a team who's been holding those belts longer than they have. They held it so long that they had to get rid of them. And now, the Prestige created their own essential tag team division to and now they get to participate in it. These titles were split off from the original tag team championships in order to meet these prestigious rules, which of course is 2 to 3 falls in 10 minutes of action, so you never know when the match will end. You gotta have a decision. You know, whoever is leading those falls by that 10-minute mark wins. However, the Prestige, again, no tags. Thankfully, because it's Ring the Bell Wrestling, there are no tags. We did try it out with the tags, but it did not work. However, the Prestige clearly have been able to adapt to these new rules that were set in place by Ring the Bell Wrestling. Of course, when they originally won the titles, those tag team title matches were non-tornado tag, and when the new regime took over, when Norman Gorman was brought into the mix, as well as Excalibur, myself, and a bunch of other members backstage, the tornado rule was put into place in order to essentially save the division. And thankfully, we have one of the greatest tag team divisions in all of professional wrestling just sitting right here on our doorstep. And Jeff the Ref has rung the bell, and now it is time to begin. Folks, if you are watching with us live, one of the lucky enough to purchase a ticket here online, or if you're just watching in the crowd, feel free to vote for who you think is going to win this matchup. Do you think it is going to be the Prestige, or do you think the Church of Light will take this one? Please feel free to throw your votes into the comment section to your right. And there we go, a beautiful triple suplex there from Sheffield as Bailey just smashing Pee-wee's head into the mat there. Guys, feel free to make your voices heard as we move into this next one. Right now, it looks like everybody in the chat is fully behind the Prestige. So it looks like the Prestige might have... I mean, honestly, you know, we haven't seen the Prestige lose in a tag team, a 2-on-2 matchup. I mean, since I've been here, that's for certain. And there's that stone cold stunner off the top rope. That stunning stunner there from Sheffield. Matt Bailey, of course, with the arm tattoos. Sheffield, no tattoos. And he's got that little tape there on the hip. Of course, these members of the Prestige, they don't just wrestle here in Ring the Bell Wrestling. They are international superstars. They wrestle everywhere and anywhere. So you might have to figure out how Philip Sheffield might have gained a bit of an injury somewhere out there in the world of professional wrestling. Nice little dodge there by Bailey. And now Bailey's got him up. Power bomb to the big man. And oh, that shining wizard just missed on Fitch over on the left side. And the beauty of these tag team tornado matches is that there's always action going on. You're never just waiting around. And now it looks like there's a 2-on-1 advantage here in the ring. Sheffield had to leave the ring. Uh-oh, wait a sec. Spine buster from Bailey. We've seen that spine buster before do a lot of good work. There's now Bailey rolling to the outside of the ring, but Sheffield returning. And a big clothesline combination on the floor. It looks like we're now at 2-on-1 here on that opposite side. Over to my right, where you see me and my colleagues are sitting. Of course, going at it solo tonight on commentary. And it looks like we're getting a official tweet here that, oh, of course, our world champion Adam White, the Triple Crown champion, is booing the Prestige from the skybox. Of course, in our main event, 5 of the greatest superstars Ring the Bell has to offer will be fighting for the 5th spot in an Elimination Chamber match at the end of the month. Of course, Scott Osborne, a member of that match, another member of the Prestige, and there we go, a beautiful inside-outside clothesline for 2. We've seen Bailey put people away with that clothesline. Oh my goodness, the backhand ripcord. A second inside-outside clothesline. 1, 2, and 3. No! He kicked out at 2. And right now the Prestige is in full control. That's right, as I was saying earlier, Adam White will be defending his championship inside of the Elimination Chamber against 5 other men. Of course, Scott Osborne, the de facto, I guess, leader of the Prestige, if you want to count his victory at Endgame as anything. He'll be taking on other contenders such as Oliver Bisping, the Hollywood superstar Danny Six. Shout out to his brand new movie Paranoid. Oh no, Shao the Dragon Boy. No, the counter there. Looked like he was going for a shadowy end of days. But he got out of it with the block there. Oh, and now Shao back in control. Yes, Danny Six will be in that matchup, as well as the former world champion Morgan Wolf. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness, a reverse Alabama slam. Springboarding off those ropes. And of course, Manus, the superstar, male superstar of the year. Big clothesline again, a 3rd clothesline. Is that going to get a fall? And it is. And the Prestige is up 1-0. And a spine buster from Bayley. That could put it away right here. They could get 2 falls very fast. It is over. The Prestige have won this matchup. In their return to Ring the Bell Wrestling, they are victorious in their own style of match. Take a look at that beautiful spine buster. Really, Bayley just had control of the ring. Sheffield taking liberties of keeping Pee-wee on the outside, and it looks like the Prestige have won this matchup. Congratulations to them. Back in the saddle once again. You got to admit, with all of these members of the Prestige returning, it's going to make for a very interesting scene here in Ring the Bell Wrestling. And now it is time for your second match of 5, as Angel Sapphire is going to take on Casey Joe in what has turned into a pretty heated rivalry between 2 of the newer stars here in Ring the Bell Wrestling. 2 of the newest members of the women's division. Angel Sapphire, who had her hand in Rookie of the Year, actually won half of the Rookies of the Year, plural, alongside Jason D. Davis, whose tag partner will be in action in the upcoming matchup, but I digress. Angel Sapphire was put in the same league during the B1 Climax as Casey Joe, which led to one of a really good matchup between the 2. And it looks like this blood feud is going to carry over and is going to erupt here at Apex. Of course, the rock star Angel Sapphire is really taken the world by storm. She's had a heck of a time here in Ring the Bell since her debut. We are very excited to see what that is going to become of. Both of these women looking to be the next ones at Page. However, in our semi-main event, there will be a number 1 contenders matchup, which you might have seen between the Sultan, Cora Reeves, and Sammy Stone. But right now, here comes Casey Joe down to the ring. Casey put up one heck of a performance in the B1 Climax. Of course, neither of these women were successful in reaching the semifinals in their pools. However, Casey Joe is one heck of a rookie here in Ring the Bell Wrestling. We saw her at the end of of the last season of Ring the Bell Wrestling make her debut, and has carried over that momentum into this newest season here. And thank the Lord, Casey Joe is a pretty fast entrance. That's what I always like. I like getting to the action, folks. So we got the Rockstar versus Hardcore Country here in our second contest of the night. And who do you guys think is going to win this second match of the night? Is it going to be Casey Joe, or is it going to be Angel Sapphire? Please let your voice be heard in the comments section to your right. Let us know, if you're watching along with us at home, who you think is coming away with the victory here. And so far, if you'd be betting on Casey Joe, you might be right. She has full control. Angel has not been able to get a lick of offense in the start. Casey Joe, 3 big maneuvers. You see all that suplex, and then a second kick to the head. This time a drop kick rather than a normal stomp. Casey keeping control here. She's going to hook an arm for a second delayed vertical suplex. Well, I wouldn't say, oh my goodness, beautiful drop kick there. Angel finally trying to create some space between her and Casey, and that's what she's going to have to do. She's going to have to use that speed to her advantage. Casey has the power game, there's no doubt about it. But Angel has been very successful when she's able to... There you go, see, look at that speed and that agility put right to work there. She has that advantage over a lot of other women on this roster. Take a look at the call. No! Casey able to break it up. Angel was setting up for something here. You know she has that running 360 code breaker that she uses to put opponents away. And you'd have to think it was a little too early in the match to set that up, but that's what it was looking like to me, at least. And I've been here for every one of her matches so far in Ring the Bell Wrestling. Oh, and here we go. And we saw this in the last match. Reverse Alabama Slamma Jamma from the country superstar. Casey Joe, Hardcore Country. And now here we go. Nice jawbreaker there from Sapphire. Sapphire now gonna hook her with the DDT. And a very casual cover there from Sapphire. And of course she left an entire arm open. Casey able to kick out of that. And there it is, the 360 code breaker. Out of nowhere, just popping one on her. 1, 2, and 3. Wow. As you can see, that move can kind of just come from out of nowhere. Angel Sapphire very quickly, just as fast as Casey had the offense for the first 85%, and then you saw that DDT and the code breaker, and that put Casey away, just stunned her for the 3 count. As folks, just as quickly as this matchup started, it ended. Casey Joe falling victim to the 360 code breaker, and your winner, Angel Sapphire. Wow, what a fast one there. We didn't really see that one coming, that's for sure. And time to transition now. These guys got to get ready faster. I think we were expecting a long one there. However, it's time to transition to our third match here as the Mac takes on Nasty Nate. La Familia de la Adrenalina taking on the D team here at Apex. Of course, this is a singles match, but all members of both factions are able to be out at ringside. So, who knows what the heck's going to happen at this point, you know? Either way, introducing first, he is Mac. And alongside Dr. Wombo, the Ring the Bell Wrestling Backyard Champion Jason D. Davis. The D team is looking for some revenge. Of course, ever since that Inferno match, the Amazing Jess has been a little bit different than normal, and he has gone after his old friends in the D team. Oh, I'm so sorry here. There's a bit of a stench in the arena. It's probably because of these 3 men, but I digress. Jason D. Davis, of course, being held responsible by Jess for leaving him and not coming to his aid during that Inferno match. And Jess was able to form his own family, ditching his 3 lifelong friends. And now the Mac is looking to take some liberties into his own hands here by trying to pick up a victory for his team against a member of Jess's new family, La Familia de la Adrenalina. And here, here's Jess. Of course, and here comes his new family. There's Nasty Nate over to the left. He's the one competing tonight. You think is very interesting. When the D team came out, Jason, who's kind of the de facto leader of the group now, he went to the side when he came down. He took over to the side and he let Mac take center stage. And now you see Jess coming down to the ring, and it's like the complete opposite. Jess is not even wrestling tonight, and he's the one taking center stage in his new family. Of course, you want to talk about family. This new family, La Familia de la Adrenalina, all started when our partners over at Adrenaline Fuel Wrestling came into the picture. The Amazing Jess decided to go over to the new company to work part-time for them, taking bookings, and it turns out that those guys were a lot bigger of a family in his mind, at least. And I mean, you know what's going through that guy's brain. It was a lot more family to him than his own best friends were. And so he has brought Nasty Nate and Jaden Kejudo fully over to Ring the Bell Wrestling in this brand new faction And now Nasty Nate with the Tims and the clothesline. Now look at those Tims just stomping down on Mac. Folks, who do you think is going to walk away with this in this matchup with a victory? Is it going to be Mac or Nasty Nate? Please let us know in the comments section below. Rather to your right. If you're watching us on delay, of course you can comment in the comment section down below. But there's Mac with a big clothesline. Getting himself back into this matchup, and the knee, which might have busted Nate open on the jaw or the nose. I can't really tell. I do see a little bit of blood coming out, and there it is, a nice overhead suplex, gut wrench suplex. Mac now letting Nate get up, and Nate is sent over the top rope. And the D team celebrating over on the left-hand side of your screen. And Mac, oh my goodness, the agility from this man. Just standing in the ring, a standing somersault over the top rope. Mac now, oh, Nate able to duck. And here we go, a big power bomb. And right into the cover, but Mac able to kick out at 2. Nate, I gotta talk about how Mac just full-on somersaulted over the top rope without a running start. And landed beautifully on Nasty Nate. Nate just finally able to come back. He's able to counter that counter. You gotta think, in the game planning for this matchup, that the La Familia de la Adrenalina has the advantage because Jess knows all these guys so well. There's the spear, landing perfectly. 1, 2, and no. Jess knows all 3 of his friends so well. It's so easy for him to game plan. Versus the D team, who's going to have a hard time picking up on these 2 new members of the roster. Who, again, unless you watch AFW, which you should be watching, on a weekly basis, you don't have as much scouting on him. And a nice discus clothesline from Mac lands perfectly. Into the cover and a kick out at 2. Mac in control now. We've seen this, and now he's going to pop him up. And oh my goodness, a Steiner recliner. 2 and no. And just dropped Nate right on his head. I have no idea how he's still moving. And there's the drop kick to the head. Yes, life rolls on here, folks. At Ring the Bell Wrestling, we're going to keep this matchup going here. Nate rolls to the outside. Oh, he's able to stop him. Try to create some distance here, but no. Instead, Mac going right to the gut. He has him up, and a nice inverter there. Basically, an inverted pump handle X Factor from the Massacre. Mac. Uh-oh. Nate now has him up and hanging him out to dry. Nate able to dodge. No, he's gonna get him, and oh my, awful waffle out of nowhere. The man lands the awful waffle. Big Tim kick, dodged. Wait a sec, Mac just ate that. Mac just ate that pump handle Big Tim kick. Unbelievable there. Can't believe, I'm just in shock. And there it is. Oh, he ate it again. A second Tim's kick. And he dodged the third. Nate cannot land that. And a big power slam onto the knee. Mac is in control of this matchup again. And is going to have him. No, I thought we were going for the power bomb there. Wait a sec. Nate is distracted by the D team now. Jason up on the apron. Has him completely distracted. Nate didn't even see. Oh no, Nate picks the leg. He got there as fast as he could. He didn't want anything to do with, oh no, wait a second, look at that. He had him in that. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, there it is. He lands it. That Big Tim boot. right to the face. And there it is. Pop him up. One more time with the Tims to the face. But Jason up on the wait, Jason trying to take the turnbuckle pad off. Jason just distracting him. And wait, into the cover now. 1, 2, and no! Kick out at 2. Just barely. Man lasted as long as he could. And now it's time for Nate to go one more time. Kick to the gut. You'd have to think that would have been over. He hit that boot with the Tims. And Mac was just able to eat it up. Dodges the big boot again. Oh, then he dodges a big boot. Oh no, Nate with the power and the spine buster. One more. How many times is he gonna let Jason distract him? Either Jeff the ref's got to throw this guy out, or Nate's just gonna have to nut up and just focus. Cause here we go, one more time. And another Timberland big boot. Referee. Finally, looks like he's in position now. 1, 2, and no! Matt kicks out at 2. Oh, wait a second here. Wait. Mac rolls him up into the cover. 1, 2, and no. Wait a sec. No, Nate coming right back. 1, 2, and wait a second. He's rolling him over. Mac's gonna try to steal another one here. 1, 2, and 3. It's over. Wow. In a turn of events, Mac just rolled up Nate for the 3. All of those distractions. Let's take a look at this final sequence here. All the distractions from Jason finally paid off. And it looks like the D team picked up a victory here. And take a look at that beautiful bridge right into the backslide. Jeff the ref in perfect position and easily counts the 3. And the D team gets to celebrate tonight. But you'd have to think this war with La Familia is not over. It's by any means for sure. Either way, tonight your winner is Mac and the D team. Look at Jess. Jess is pissed on the floor. He's yelling at Jeff the ref for everything that happened. All the shenanigans Jason pulled. You'd think Jess would have done the same though. So I don't feel that bad for him. Either way, it's time to transition into our 4th contest of the night. As the Sultan takes on Cora Reeves and Sammy Stone in a triple threat, where the winner of this matchup becomes the #1 contender for Paige's Women's Championship. And here we go first. Oh, making her way down to the ring is Cora Reeves. Cora now hopped into the B1 Climax as a late replacement for the injured San Annie. No, not for San Annie. The other injured. Paige. She actually popped in for Paige after Paige left the tournament, picking up her 4 points and nearly made it to the semifinals on just winning all those matches alone. She's had an incredible hot streak since being here, Ring the Bell, and honestly, I could see you putting money on that match happening. Cora Reeves now getting ready for this matchup. And here she comes, folks. One of the more impressive superstars that we have seen debut here in Ring the Bell Wrestling. She as well debuted in the B1 Climax. The Sultan has turned a lot of eyes onto our women's division. And the Sultan making her way down to the ring. She has to be one of the favorites for this matchup as well. It's 3 favorites. It's the veteran, it's this brand new up and coming giant, as well as the hot streak in Cora Reeves. However, you have to think there is still a #1 contender. There's still a championship match out there for Tiffany White, who of course won the entire B1 tournament. She's kind of just been sitting on it, waiting to cash it in. She hasn't done so yet. She hasn't cashed in that briefcase, but we'll have to see what happens. I mean, it's not necessarily like a Money in the Bank cash in or anything like that, but you never know what's going to happen. She's just been sitting on it. She hasn't declared it yet of when she's going to challenge for it, but we'll have to see when that happens. So you'd have to think, not only does Paige have to look at this matchup here tonight, but Paige has to also remember Tiffany in the background, just waiting at the opportunity. And all these three women have to focus on that too, maybe. But either way, making her way down to the ring right now, one of the veterans of Ring the Bell Wrestling, Sammy Stone. Sammy Stone, of course, one of the favorite, of course, being again in that alliance against Paige from last season alongside Mia Kay and Tony Saturo. Which, shout out to Tony Saturo, future Ring the Bell Wrestling Hall of Famer for sure. Either way, Sammy Stone has had a hard bit of time getting into the swing of things since returning this season. The B1 Climax was not good for her by any means. She was definitely not performing at her all. However, she has an opportunity tonight to rewrite all of the wrongs that she's had this season. And here we go, folks. Triple threat, Jeff the Ref, ready to go. Let's get it on. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever... Oh my goodness, a spear right out of the gate and a drop kick right out of the gate by Stone. Look at these three women not taking any time for themselves to get it started. They ain't wasting a single second. There's the Sultan now. Big pump kick. Cora now on the go behind. And she's going to be able to take down the big woman right there. I'd say normally the big man, but although big woman doesn't really sound that good either. Taking down the Sultan. Sammy Stone from behind. You remember, with these triple threat matches, you need to have eyes in the back of your head. You can, and see, just like that, a huge clothesline from the Sultan just takes out Sammy Stone just for a second there. Oh no, the Sultan has a chair. That's not a good thing. She's basically a walking weapon. She doesn't need an extra chair. Uh-oh, wait, so Sammy just picked up the chair. As Cora now on top. There we go, big Irish whip. All three, oh man, they collide. All three women essentially just clogging up space over there in the corner. And a big power slam and a big sick kick. Jumping over Cora Reeves' body right there. Of course, you can only win this match in the ring. However, these three women don't seem to be trying to win the match right now. Trying to cause some damage. Sammy Stone now getting chucked to the side. Cora coming back with a nice high knee. All three women trying to get the advantage here. Cora thrown into the ring now. Oh, but Sammy Stone can take her down. Oh my goodness, and then the diving. Cora Reeves just breaks it up. There's so much oh no, wait a sec. Oh man, head first goes Sammy Stone onto that chair. The back of her head hits the chair. Never a good sign. Big headbutt there. Of course, it's one fall to the finish. Tonight's main event, the match happening right after this, it is elimination style. However, this matchup is not. The first fall gets the championship match. Oh, Sammy trying to swing for the fences there. And the Sultan with the splits. Taking down Sammy Stone. Oh no, and there is a choke right there. Oh, wait a sec. No, I think that's a claw actually. A mandible claw. Cora again taken down, trying to get those strikes, that ground and pound on the, if you take the taller competitor out, what you got to do is you got to bring them down to the ground. Put them on your level, on your size. You don't have to swing up at that point. You get to swing down. Oh, no. The Kali vice grip from the Sultan, and oh, head first onto the chair. Super kick, double super kick from Sammy Stone. Trying to steal one here. 1, 2, and no. Cora breaks it up. There's now Sammy. Oh no, she's going around. And the Stone Cutter. Oh, wait a second. Look at that. That Saturo Stunner in memory of her friend. I say that like she's dead. In honor of Tony Saturo, former stablemate here in that alliance against Paige. Stone looking to use that move, adopting that move essentially from Tony. Now the Sultan, well, she's got a vice grip now and a huge choke slam there. Oh no, Cora has the chair. Oh my goodness, just swinging for the fences. Just strikes the Sultan. Stunner from Cora. Oh, now the 2-on-1 on Cora. Stone now picks the leg. And there you go. That's going to take down the faster opponent. Famousher there from the Sultan out of nowhere. Ooh, okay, work it, girl. No, Sammy pops right back up. Nice arm drag. From the Stone Cutter herself. 2 and no. Cora Reeves just popped right up there. Oh no. We've seen this. The modified new version of the Stone Cutter. The Sultan has to get back in the ring. It looks like she was grabbing a Singapore cane. We realized that breaking up that pinfall was more important than doing damage with that cane. Well, Sammy has her set up. What's she doing here? No! He was going for that chair strike, but the Sultan woke up. And now she's putting her on the ropes. Oh, backstabber! And now Cora has the chair. All three of these women fighting over this chair. Trying to do as much damage as possible. Sammy now has her up. And... ooh, beautiful cutter. That pop-up cutter into the cover, but the Sultan returns to the ring again. Sultan now has her in the corner. Oh no, we've seen this. Going for it, the Moon Sultan. But Cora is just right there to break it up. Oh, wait, no. Cora has her. Feast your thighs. Feast your thighs. Oh, wow. No way. The perfect timing. Sammy has her up. Stone Cutter onto the chair. Stone Cutter on the chair. 2 and 3. Unbelievable. All three women hitting their finishers in tandem. However, Sammy Stone able to come away with the victory of this one. Holy moly, what an ending. See, there's that Moon Sultan. And then we saw that Feast Your Thighs, and then right into that new version of the Stone Cutter. Sammy Stone is the new #1 contender and has herself a future championship matchup. And alongside her and Tiffany White, you'd have to think Paige. Paige's days on top may be numbered. Either way, folks, it is now time for your main event. Who will be the #5 entrant inside the Elimination Chamber when we meet next at the end of the month? Is it going to be Scott Osborne, Manus, Morgan Wolf, Danny Six, or Oliver Bisping? Here we go, folks. Let's start it off with the former champion, Morgan Wolf. Of course, Morgan Wolf winning that main event of Endgame, Night 2. Taking out the Dawn. Becoming the champion, defending against Roy Ninja Pierce. Defending against other stars along the way. And now finds himself without a championship for the first time in a while. He won that title back in January, and now he is championshipless. Adam White, during the afternoon of champions, became, in some would say, a surprising fashion. I don't think it was much of a shock, other than it came on a show that nobody knew was about to happen. It came on Afternoon of Champions. Adam White was able to successfully defeat Morgan Wolf. And then after a bit of chicanery, we had that Island Rules street fight in that 10-minute Iron Man match. And of course, Adam White at the last minute picked up 2 major pinfall victories, ending that matchup in a 4-3 decision for himself, making him essentially the undisputed Triple Crown champion. And now Morgan Wolf doesn't have much of a leg to stand on anymore in the complaints department. He's got to work his way back up, and the first way to do that is by getting out of this eliminator in the best spot possible. Of course, the way this matchup works is it is going to be the order of the Elimination Chamber will be set by the order of elimination in this matchup. So if you're pinned first, you're coming out number 1. If you win this matchup, you're coming out number 5, and the rest of the positions along the way are the people who get pinned in between. And here he comes, folks. Mr. Hollywood himself, the star of Paranoids, now out where all movies are watched. He is Sexy Danny 6. Of course, how do you know if this is a stunt double or if it's him? Usually depends on if he wins. That's usually what he claims either way. Danny 6 making his way down to the ring. You gotta say, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Danny declaring himself, after quote-unquote getting rid of the filth that is Lee Killstar, officially declaring himself in that Triple Crown title picture. And of course, everybody seems to be doing that recently, which is why we have this super big matchup here. Danny 6 ridding himself of Lee Killstar, and I guess the rest of Death Watch. As you will see, he will be competing against former Death Watch teammate Oliver Bisping in this matchup, as well as Morgan Wolf. These 3 men have had quite an interesting history, to say the least. That's the crazy part about all of it. You never know who is working together with who's fighting with who. These 3 men are all drama, and then there's Manus and Scott Osborne, who are just, they're also here, but they're here for the championship. There's a little bit extra riding on the line with these other men over here. And now it is time for the 3rd member of this matchup to come out. Oh, the fans love this music. And that's because it is the one and only Manus. Here he is. Mr. Conspiracy himself finally finds himself in the Triple Crown Championship picture. The man voted Superstar of the Year in the men's division. No longer tag team champion, of course, losing those belts to Mike and Mike over at the same event, at that Afternoon of Champions event. Manus now doesn't have much to complain about because it's all up from here. The World Champion, the Triple Crown Championship is up for grabs. And Manus does, as much as I like to give the guy slack for thinking that this is all a conspiracy, he does have a heck of a stake to that claim, being as how he was voted Male Star of the Year. It's not necessarily a number 1 contendership, but when the fans think you deserve to be up here, along with these other men, darn well you do. And folks, here he comes, making his way down the ring. It's Oliver Bisping. Of course, Bisping when we ended last season, especially closer to the end, had a bone to pick with Morgan Wolf over this championship. We all thought that that's what could have been the next matchup for Morgan after Endgame, and of course with everything happening on in our world, I don't think we ever fully saw Morgan versus Bisping for the championship. However, Bisping, of course, been around for so long. This man is influential in the bones, in the marrow, in the heart, the soul, all of the cartilage and tissue that makes up Ring the Bell Wrestling. Of course, I'm the brain of it, but hey, what are you going to do, you know? Can't be all parts of the body. As Oliver Bisping now making his way into the ring. Ooh. With that half mask thing he has on. Which is good, because you need to see out of it. And at least he's got one eye good. Either way, Bisping looking to stake his claim as the number 5 spot. And here comes our final participant. We saw his teammates make their return tonight, and now it's his turn. It is Scott Osborne. Some would say the de facto leader of the Prestige. Former European champion here in Ring the Bell Wrestling, losing that belt to Roy Pierce early on last season. He is now having his sights set on the Triple Crown. He defeated all 3 other members of the Prestige at Endgame. And now he has a stake to this title picture. At least in my mind, he definitely does. We're getting another tweet now from Adam White. Originally voting for Bisping, and then he said, well, with this entrance, I'm going to retract my vote. Let's go Jeff the Ref. So hopefully, of course, Adam White would want to face off against Jeff the Ref. I feel like it's much easier defending your title against one untrained person rather than 5 trained professional wrestlers. But hey, you know, I'm not the champion for a reason. Scott Osborne now looking to be a champion once again here in this company. And there's no better time to do so than right now. Again, these 5 men all have a great stake to claim for this Triple Crown Championship. And unfortunately for Adam White, he's going to have to go against all 5 of them. But not tonight. Tonight, these 5 men are going to decide their fate as to what spot they enter this matchup in. Folks, who do you think is going to grab the number 5 spot and win this matchup, this Know Your Role match? Is it going to be Danny Six, Morgan Wolf, Manis, Bisping, or Osborne? Feel free to vote down in the chat who you think is walking away. We all know who the champ thinks is who the champ wants to win. Fortunately, that might not happen for him. So let your voices be heard. Who do you guys think is winning in this main event matchup here on Apex? And now Bisping. Oh my goodness, a super kick from out of nowhere from Manis. Danny might be out. 1, 2, and no, a kick out at 2. That would be insane if this matchup ended just as fast as it started. Oh, Morgan Wolf the DDT. Danny Six with a kip up, and now has Bisping. And Bisping able to fight back. Oh, a crevasse from Morgan, using some wrestling there. And we got a triple suplex from the Prestige. Big power bomb from Manis, and there's so much action going on, folks. I'm going to do my best to call it all. Manis and Morgan fighting like somebody owes someone else money. Everyone just trying to stake a claim. Bisping just trying to get his bearings back in the corner. And now look, Morgan, Bisping, and Danny all fighting in that right side corner. Wait a sec, Manis has a pin on Osborne right now. Jeff the Ref focused on that submission. Didn't even see the cover happen, and a kick out at 1. Manis over there screaming at Jeff the Ref to start counting 3. Jeff taking a sweet time to do so. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, Morgan getting worked over, the former champ, Worked over by Bisping and Manus, and then Manus immediately turns on Bisping. Like nothing ever happened. Osborne with a huge power bomb on Danny 6. Of course, Danny spent more time in Hollywood than in the ring in the last few months, so we'll see how that ring rust is going to take into effect. Bisping lands the high knee and then caught by Scott Osborne. Going to try to work on the arm. It's going to be a lot harder for Bisping to hit that production stunner when he only has one arm. 6 now. Has a pile driver on Osborne. Wolf now working on the arm of Manus. Oh, into the cover. Hook of the far leg, and Osborne kicks out. And now Bisping into the cover on Morgan. 2 and no. Well, we saw this earlier. Feast your thighs from Danny 6. Manus nearly knocked out. Scott Osborne, though, coming back. Spin him around and a powerbomb to Bisping. 1, 2, and no. It's the thing we talked about earlier in that triple threat. You need eyes in the back of your head. You're going to need eyes on every side of your body in this matchup. You never know where someone's going to be swinging from. Wolf bite dodged. You saw Morgan go for that wolf bite. Scott Osborne able to break out of it. Big discus there from Bisping. Whirly bird from Morgan. He looks hungry like the wolf there, that's for sure. 1, 2, and no. A very dizzy Scott Osborne kicks out. It's oh no. He pops right up though into the Gringo Killer. Into the cover, hook of the leg. Jeff the ref nowhere to be seen though. There's a submission happening on the other side of the ring. And there we go. There's the 2 count. You can see there's a submission happening. Jeff the ref again. Not in the right place. Wolf bite! Wolf bite! Out of nowhere, Bisping might be eliminated here. He is! And Bisping is going to start this match at number 1. Some unfortunate news for Oliver Bisping. Looks like he'll be starting this match, but who will be starting with him? You'd have to argue number 2 is just as bad as number 1. You would hate to be either in this situation. Uh-oh, wait a sec. Hey, and there it is. Anaconda Vice locked in on Danny 6. Manus trying to choke out the superstar. Mr. Hollywood himself is starting to fade. No, he got the knee into the swole of the back. Very smart move there from Danny. And now here we go, big. Oh, pile driver. 2 and no. But the pile driver, that's how Manus put away numerous opponents. 2 and no. And Morgan's the last man standing now, having his pick on who he wants to take out. He might have picked Scott Osborne. Now Osborne getting his arm worked over. Prestige style almost. Very tactical from the Lone Wolf. Uh-oh. Morgan is pile driven. Into the cover. What? No. Wait a sec. Why did... Oh, very smart by Osborne there. 1, 2, no. You know, there's a reason you can break up a pinfall in one of these elimination matches, and that's because that's when somebody's not looking. You would think nobody's going to come break up the fall. You have your back turned to everybody, and that is when you strike. Just like a strike right there, a beautiful Judas elbow. 2 and no. Talking about perfectly timed strikes. Just nearly knocked Morgan out. I don't know how he's still up. I think he might even be bleeding a bit too out of his nose. That elbow landed perfectly. And there's a backbreaker there from Osborne. Danny now going to take control. Irish whip into the side. And oh, dodges the drop kick. Big chops. Oh, wolf bite! Wolf bite to Manus. And this might be it. 1, 2, no. 2, 3. But Danny was pinned. I didn't see how Osborne pinned Danny, but it looks like Danny 6 is going to be, instead of number 6, he's going to be number 2. So the 2 former members of Death Watch are going to be starting out that Elimination Chamber. Lord knows you don't want to be stuck at 3. And wait a second, a third pile driver from Manus is going to spike Morgan down, bleeding all over the place, and that is it. We have our number 3 entrant, and that is Morgan Wolf. And now who's going to take the final spot? Is it going to be Manus, or is it going to be Osborne? Osborne kicking out at 2. He's got a little bit more life in him than Manus does. You'd have to think Osborne, has as many matches this year as any of these men, and that's going to be to his advantage. He's coming in the most clean. Of course, Osborne, as a member of the Prestige, fights all over the country, all over the world. And so ring rust is not something that happens with him, but we can tell from Ring the Bell Wrestling who has had a harder schedule this year, and that's definitely Manus. Oh, big chop misses, big chop hits this time. And a third gigantic chop from the prestigious one, Scott Osborne. Osborne's in control of this matchup here. You have to think, how much more can Manus take? Big power bomb there. He's going to get him up. And backing up. And an elbow. That beautiful Judas elbow. 1, 2, and 3. Your winner. And the 5th entrant inside the Elimination Chamber is Scott Osborne. And in his return to Ring the Bell Wrestling, he's able to pick up a huge victory against 4 other members of the main event scene here in Ring the Bell. A lot of big moves there, a lot of interesting developments, and somehow after all of it, Osborne, who I believe got 2 of those 5 pinfalls, or 2 of those 4 pins, so good for him. Osborne's going to be... He's going to be 5th. Of course, Adam has the advantage as the champion, but no better spot to have than right at the end. Your winner, with a ton of momentum heading into that Elimination Chamber match, is Scott Osborne. And from everybody here at Ring the Bell Wrestling, we want to thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later on. But we do have a big announcement for you guys that we did talk about. It's time to announce a very special show that's coming out very soon. We've all been working on it backstage. It should be a fun one. As soon as I can find the picture for it. As soon as I can find the picture for it. It has to be here somewhere, that's for sure. And for some reason, it's just avoiding me. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, officially announced, December to Dismember, coming this holiday season, featuring matches from all of your favorite promotions: Bushido, Florida Championship Wrestling, Ring the Bell 07, Eastern Championship Wrestling, Florida Water Wrestling, and the return of the Chaotic Wrestling Federation, all this December during the holiday season. Stay tuned to our Twitter and Discord to find out when this show is going to go live. But you got to think, sometime between now and Christmas in the next 9 days, you'll be getting all of this holiday action. I want to thank you guys for watching tonight, and we will see you guys at December to Dismember.